Hi, everybody. So I have Z with me today,
Hi,
and Z and
everybody.
I, hi, and Z and I do bridging higher consciousness, which is basically kind of an advanced class in learning at this point.
Yeah.
So we're really deep into that and other things, but so that'll be below if you want to check it out.
Yeah.
Um What else did I want to say? So Z is a healer. I want to just introduce you because I have new people. So Z
Sure.
is a
Yeah.
healer. She can basically go into the Akashic records and she can see what's going on. And I do that as well, but Z does it in a more precise manner. And I do it in a more general manner. She can look inside your body and see what's going on, which I think is really cool. So
Yeah.
if you need individual help, she's great for that. I highly recommend. So, we're going to talk about the energies today.
Yes. Woo!
Yeah, they're so big. And we are in another I'm going to call it the resolution loop
Yep. Uh-huh.
because we're resolving and we have to keep that going. Um
Yes.
yeah,
Absolutely.
but
So we always come back to this point. This is the point in humanity where we come back to. It brings up going back into the same cycle of basically suffering and pain and lack. And this time there is more force into making that break apart. So the change is massive in this one.
mhm. And there is really intense fire going on. There's
Mhm.
floods going on. There's a lot of biblical stuff going on.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And this is, I mean, it's time to break free of all of this stuff. So making sure you don't embroil yourself completely in the suffering that's going on and you just start wishing people well and for them to do whatever it is in their highest good. And some of that is maybe not to be here anymore. So we need to remember
Right.
that too.
Uh-huh.
Um, a lot of people are leaving right now.
Yep. Uh-huh.
So we're in that split apart and we need
Uh-huh.
to allow that to happen.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is another one of those big sheds, and the bodies are undergoing a lot of frequency to help that shift. And so the ones who aren't able to hold that and those choices, like they are moving out really rapidly. So it's one to allow the space to let it happen, and also it's holding your own frequency to the point where you can see and feel that pain and suffering is there, but you're choosing something else, and that's the biggest aspect to it here. No, that's there, and also I'm choosing something else. And if you can continue in that process, you'll keep shedding and opening up your body and yourself and your soul to frequencies of where we're wanting to be here.
Mhm. Yeah, because obviously that is a contract. You know, the creation of these things is a contract and it's a clearing.
Yep.
And to get emotionally involved with it really doesn't help. So it's basically that you're sending that love so that whatever happens is in the highest good of everybody's consciousness that's involved in it instead of trying to save everyone with
Right.
energy because they
Yeah.
need to do what they have contracted to do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's again giving yourself permission to be who you are and letting them be in their perspective and loving them exactly where they're at. And that can be a little bit challenging for our bodies and our systems to run through all of those waves. But right now, it's really holding that vibration of love and understanding that you can be yourself and they're going to do what they're going to do regardless. You can still love them and just allow them to be where they're at.
Yeah. Because we've been through a lot of stuff ourselves in our lives, you know, maybe we've experienced a big fire, maybe we've experienced a flood, maybe we've experienced one of these things that other people are experiencing. And remember that it's now your opportunity as well to forgive and let go of that emotional part of the experience, because those experiences, as hard as they are, they also push us forward in some way.
Yes, for sure.
Mhm.
And that's where the essence of change is coming into this, and change for humans is the uncomfortable piece. We don't like that piece. We like our safety and we like our patterns and we like our loopholes that keep us there. And right now it's kind of a constant uncomfortable to get you to change. It's a continuous poke right now. And so
Mm.
really shifting into the space that change is the best thing for you at this point. And it could be anything. It's just allowing yourself to detach from those things and having the ability to move with it when you feel like that's right for you.
Yeah, and not engaging with what we would equate as suffering.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
letting that go. Like, a lot of people are really ill right now too, so they're purging a lot of programming out of their bodies. They're resolving past lives. They're
Yep.
resolving current lives, genetic line, all this stuff.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
everything, very detailed right now. All the shadows are in the place. You and I had a great run in the UK with some good stuff
Yeah.
we had to work through, and it's a continuation, and that continuation is really big through January. I would say we're still going to be in it for a period of time, and there's a breath coming into February. But right now, really focusing on calming your nervous system, working with your body. The body is very loud right now, and the
Mhm.
inner child is very loud right now, and they're both really working for you and with you. You really do have to listen, and that means sometimes, like, if my body's like, I literally don't want to do anything for the day, I need to be outside, that point is for you to listen to it. Because if you continue to deny that, or you kind of feel ego coming in, because ego is getting a little bit more tricky right now because there's so many sheds with the ego. It's not like it was, but it can be a little bit more tricky. So watch any of those things that stop you from listening to yourself. Okay, that would be an ego facet, or even some of these constructs that are coming in for suffering with humanity, that are coming in to kind of pull that back in. Just don't allow it. Even if it takes you a minute to take that action, take action to what you're actually hearing coming through your body.
Mhm. Yeah, and if you feel yourself freaking out, then take a breath. Take several breaths until you can look at it from the observer point of view. Um, it just it's a very intense time right now. Like, I can feel in the morning, like, the energy coming up, and it's
Uh,
really, like, it's almost frantic, like you had 4 shots of coffee.
for sure.
Yeah, but you're really only good with 1. Like, 1 is
Yeah,
really all you can handle, but you had 4 shots.
yeah, oh, for
So
sure.
it's kinda like that, like this wild, amped up energy, but do what
Yes.
you can to calm yourself down and
Right.
start to look at it from, because the outside is also matching our inside, you know? That's why all those things are going on right now. But
I was like, I got really excited about it because there's so many good things too that I want to bring us back into the space for as well.
Mhm,
Like with that chaos, and I call chaos energy that massive point of change. It's what creates a lot of that change in there. And that's why there's so much of that right now. There's a lot of beauty coming into the space. So it's not to forget that piece of it while you're going through this. And also to focus on that excitement, beauty, joy, things that make your inner child very happy, because that'll continue this process and actually be a lot easier for you to move through it.
mhm,
So, and our nervous systems are shifting in a format where uh, the trauma in the basal ganglia, that piece that holds the trauma in the body, is starting to dissolve itself. It's actually going inwards because we don't need that perspective anymore. So watch how your nervous system actually works with itself, because it's not going to be in the same way or format that it has been. Like, the you that was is no longer, for sure, right in this moment. Okay. And that's for all of humanity right now. So see what actually does calm it down. Note too that these higher levels of frequencies are rather intense for the body right now. And it's trying to figure out how to work with them.
mm,
So that also means giving yourself enough space to understand, like, hey, look, there's a lot of energy coming into the space there that it might just be new. and it's okay to have change. And as soon as your body knows, oh, it's okay to be in that space, it's safe with that, you can evolve and expand much quicker.
Mhm. Yeah, and don't be afraid just to, like, sit all day or to rest in the middle of the day. Do things that you're not used to doing, like,
Yes.
for me, it's like push, push, push. I wanna get this done, I have this to do, I have my little list every day, and those have been thrown out the window at this point because, I've been sick for one thing, but it's created a change in the way that I'm doing things too. I've realized that I don't have to push so hard every single day to get things done.
Right. Or to
And
get
also,
results.
yeah, we're changing what we're doing here pretty soon. So,
For sure.
yeah.
For sure. That brings it back to the time piece because that time aspect in humanity is breaking itself down. So if you're noticing yourself going like, there's literally no time in this, like the days kind of flow in. Sometimes you can't even tell whether it's day or night. That's because the time matrix is actually dissolving itself in the entire parameter. So that means for us to follow our own divine timing and universe's divine timing is the most important thing. And that is not to force anything at this point. And it's not to go, go, go at this point. It's actually to just be and listen to yourself and take the action steps for that point. That means if you want to sit all day, like for me, I don't usually watch TV. I'm usually kind of in meditation and outside and
Yeah.
doing those things. Like I got a hit the other day to like go on and watch like Great Britain's like that Best Baker show, whatever it's called, the baking. And I just sat there like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Okay, okay. And my soul was happy. My little kid was happy. She's like, look at all the things they're baking. If that is the case for you, very much so listen to it because during that process, you're integrating all these frequencies.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think we're getting ready to really create, and we're kind of like creators, what they do, and a lot of people will see this as procrastination, but
Yep.
they sit and they hang out and they doodle and they do stuff that has nothing to do with what their project may be,
Yep.
but all of a sudden they have all the answers to their project and it just comes out in one sitting.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
that is the way it works. And we're kind of in that hanging out, sitting
Yes.
around stage at the moment where everything's kind of paused and there's a lot of chaos around us and we're kind of, going through our own body stuff. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And the biggest creation time. It is the biggest creation time right now because as much
Mhm.
chaos is in the space right now, there's so much room for what's moving forward. And that does mean the projects, the community projects, stepping up into places that you have been kind of looking for a while. Like those are all coming into space now. And that is as long as you keep up with the, I know it's coming in and I'm not going to choose suffering or pain in this space. I'm going to choose myself. And I'm also going to choose the people, the places, and areas that really liven me up, that excite me, that I know that's my passion. Okay, so watch for those points because you'll feel them more detailed now.
Mhm. Yeah, and I've totally felt that. Like I've been planning for projects, humanitarian projects. And I've been buying things that help me create.
Yes.
So, we're prepping for that basically right now.
Massively,
Yeah.
massively. It is a little cocoon right now that we're all kind of in. And you'll notice that you'll hear a lot of people saying, well, it feels like there's so much chaos going on around me. And also I feel like I'm in this kind of little bubble of myself and I don't exactly know what to do with that. That is it's a perfect time for that. Like because that gives you all of that creation energy because chaos is just that creation energy. All of it, the chaos, the shadows, they have a lot of impetus to create. Okay, so if you
Mhm.
see it in that space, like the dark is really a deeper aspect of creation. So it's not something to be afraid of. And that's another piece that comes through that, especially with the biblical stuff coming up and things like that, is to watch your constructs, your belief systems in and around those places of dark, of shadows, of all those things, because that is the space where you can pull from to be like, look at all this energy I can do with. What am I going to do with it? How
Mhm.
can this be catalyst for my growth heading into the new space.
Yeah. Well, and shadows have been through the ringer, so the strength that's there,
Uh-huh. Yep.
especially after they forgive themselves and they go through the process of healing and then joining with your oversoul or your higher self again,
Uh-huh.
like there's such a massive amount of strength and creativity that's there.
Massive amount. And if you're
Mhm.
actually looking at, like, the physics of the universe and breaking that down, the dark either dark matter or even antimatter has the ability to create and has so much force than, like, anything else here. So if you look at it that way, and you shift that in your perspective to pull that into yourself as much strength as that can be, moving forward into this February is gonna be pretty dang fantastic. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I am too. I really am. And I think the timing is something not like to get very don't pay attention to it, but
Exactly.
know that things are really working out
Yes.
and just keep holding that, and I
Like,
sometimes get sidetracked by that too. I'm like,
oh, totally.
ooh, January,
I
it feels like it's wild, but I'm
Me
excited for
too.
February. Yeah,
Exactly, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really, really beautiful time, and, it's very deep too right now,
Mhm,
so just know that it's all working out for you. That's support piece coming in there, and it is right there. The universe has really got our backs right now.
mhm. Really does. And it's just a matter of continuing to work with yourself because the more that we clear, we're creating the outside world. So the more that we clear, then the collective clears and the more room we have for the new.
Absolutely.
Mhm,
And our inner childs are doing a really good job right now of clearing. So if you kind of tap into that inner child piece, like mine gets really excited because those shadows come flying and she has her little fairy wand and she's like, ding. And I can see what those shadows are coming from and what they look like, and they come moving into my body. And she's
mhm.
actually the one who's teaching me at this point, right? In this body. Like she's the one who knows all of those things and is really excited to transmute things really fast, and she has a great time doing that. So if you're trusting yourself, your inner child, and that beingness, and you're allowing your human consciousness, your body consciousness to trust that, they're the ones doing some great work right now.
Yeah, they really are. And I've even had some of my inner child's past live, coming up, which I'd never seen before.
Uh-huh.
And that happened yesterday. And I was like, yeah, well, humanity's been here for thousands of years. So we have had many lifetimes as that consciousness.
For sure.
And those clearing is just beautiful. So,
It is, yeah. Those memories are coming back into the space right now. And we
mhm,
look at it like that, and we see how many times that humanity has come in and done the work. And also for zooming out into consciousness, humanity is a very young species.
mhm,
So we're still like babies here trying to walk, and we fall down a lot. But also watch for those memories coming back into the space, and also know too with those memories, you don't have to get attached to the emotion that's tied with them. Okay. You don't have to go down those rabbit holes where you're kind of in it. They're important. They give you some information, and your body's just processing what that is.
yeah, exactly. And you don't need to engage at all. And
No.
it was interesting watching her because she sent the life in like a little, it almost looked like one of those little wooden people, that one fits into the other.
Oh yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
she launched that off into the universe to go back to the Akashic records. And she said, that was my harem girl lifetime. And she threw it up into the
Yep.
universe. And I was like, wow, what just happened, So helping your inner child right now is like probably the best thing that you can do when you start to feel weird about anything.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all bubbling up right now.
For sure. And the inner children know how to do it with humor. They're just on top of their game right now. They're evolving with us in a way that's like mine will just turn around and be like, "Duh, silly. All you gotta do is love that," you know? And it's a really beautiful process, and they know how to work these spaces and places and the parallels really easily. It's just second nature to them because they don't go into the mind facet to do it. They're all heart.
Mhm. Yeah, humanity is a beautiful consciousness,
Yes.
and we as, like, souls are here to be their guide, but they're very sovereign in who they are now,
Yes.
and they want to clean it up. So, whatever you're feeling, don't suppress it.
Oh,
Talk to
at
your inner
all.
child about what it is and how you
Yep.
can resolve it. Yeah.
And allow those emotions the space and time to work their way through however you need to do that. If you need to sit down and take some time for it just for a little bit, that the body is wanting to process all of that right now, so it's just giving that permission to do so.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's it. I mean, it's just we're in a big
Yep.
moment, and it's a beautiful moment because we're ready to go into the new, and we
Yes.
just have to keep creating the new and letting go of the old and be
That's it.
consistent with it and keep paying attention to your own stuff, and we're going to get there.
Absolutely. Well, there's one more thing that's popping through this.
Mhm.
For those of you beings who, you know, you've been here for lifetimes, you've been coming back to help support humanity. This was a big hit that just came in really strong. If you're frustrated about how they're going back into the same patterns, you're feeling frustration, you're feeling boredom, look at those patterns within yourself because there's quite a few of us that just hit these points where we get frustrated because humanity has a tendency to go back into these spaces. And if you're feeling that, just take a look at that construct of frustration and use it as a catalyst to move through this point, as this one is very important. And know that you're right on track with that. I just wanted to give all of you guys who have that feeling of just doing this like a lot of appreciation. You're very seen, you're very heard and loved, and keep going with it. We are moving through it. Okay.
Mhm. We are, and we're going to break this loop.
Yes.
So
Oh yes.
there is a gap to go forward, and we're going to keep that open,
Yep.
but we need to do it together. So,
Yes.
the human collective is affected by each individual human consciousness.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it's very necessary right now for us to stay in unity consciousness to keep that going. So it is a must for us to work together, to come together, to align together, to work together in that space so we have more force to do that.
Hmm. Yeah. It's an amazing time, you guys. Like, we're basically climbing the mountain and we're about to reach the top and
Yep.
get to the other side where all the fun stuff is. We're about
Yeah.
to get to, all the
Or there's like
things that we've been
lollipop
talking.
mountains.
Yeah. Yeah, like a lollipop
Unicorn
mountain.
unicorn oceans and all of those things that are up in
Mhm,
that space, and know that that is available to you. We're just hitting those spaces now where we can actually reach that in our physical body.
mhm.
So,
And it took
super
this big purge.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Yep.
Yeah. So have some fun as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get
Thank you,
it.
Dee. This was
You
really
thank you
fun.
so much.
So it's just so important. And I think that we're really, really making it right now. So let's
We're doing it.
continue. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing it, guys. And just a lot of gratitude to all of you because you've done so much work. Like, seriously, I love you all so much. We're making it
Mhm.
happen.
We are. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So sending love to all of you and to anybody that is going through a chaotic time at the moment, that we don't want to add our emotion into that. We want to lift them up and just say that their love for whatever it is that
Yes.
their plan is for their life as they go forward, because they knew it was coming in their
Yes.
subconscious. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Love you guys.
Thank you
Bye.
so
Thank you,
much.
Dee.
Yeah. Thank you.